Hello, my name is Tom.
And I'm Heather.
And you're sitting at the Couples Table.
The Couples Table is a live stream show here on my channel. Join us for better or worse.
For richer or poorer.
In sickness and in health.
As long as we both shall live.
Ta-da! Welcome to episode 34.
Yes. The episode that is one number less than the age that we are. We are on our retro microphones today.
Yeah, check out the new situation happening. What do you guys think?
Yeah, hopefully. This one we've never used before.
Review to come on Tom's channel, obviously.
This is a $60 one, and the one I'm on is a $250 one. But I think they're actually both pretty decent. So anyway, we're doing a Saturday show too.
I actually didn't like this one. I liked that one more because of the chrome reflection, but I actually like it on camera.
Oh, yeah, I like this one's like a brushed steel situation.
Yeah.
I freaking love this microphone, so I hope it sounds good because I really, really like it. Anyway. That's not what we're here to talk about. We've got some stuff to go over today, but lots of you guys are here, which is one of the reasons we are doing a Saturday show is since a lot of people are in different time zones, it seems easier.
I like to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, we're not doing it in the middle of the night for a lot of people.
Yeah. So, quick update. Raphael, thanks for asking if I feel better. I was super sick last week. So we did the couples table. And if you didn't check out last week's episode, we had such a great time because we essentially did a whole podcast about ska, which is Tom's absolutely favorite genre. The whole room is ska influenced and inspired. Yes. I mean, it's been
we talked about it so much that Heather got ska-ick.
So like we did the couples table. And that night at 4 a.m., I just started shivering uncontrollably for an hour. And then Tom was like, we're going to urgent care. Something's wrong. And I had a bladder infection. So had antibiotics, finished it. I'm feeling so much better. I'm pretty much back to 100%. But dang, I had a fever for 104 for 2 days.
And her fever wasn't just that it was 104. It was within the course of an hour, it would go 104, 99, 101, 98, 103.
It was
like
crazy, dude.
Yeah, I don't know the toll. I've never seen a thing like that. I did want to point out though, here in the comments, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but Matthias, I'm glad you're here because you were one of the people that wanted to do a Saturday show for us, so you could actually make it.
Oh, great!
So I'm really glad you're here. And Aaron said goodbye for now, Pod Mic. Don't worry, the Pod Mic will never go anywhere. I feel I need to address the sense of guilt I feel when I use a different microphone because so many people have purchased and invested in Pod Mics because of me that when I use a different one, I feel guilty. But I really like microphones.
You're not the Pod Mic guy. You're the microphone guy.
No, well, I like the Pod Mic, and for $100, I think it's the winner for podcasting. But I like microphones and I want to try out different things, and I got this one. And what I didn't know was when I got mine, which is, if you're listening, it's the Shure Super 55, and I got it, and Heather was like, that's a cool looking microphone. I wish more people got things like that. And I was like, you think this is cool? She's like, yeah, I'm tired of all the like regular looking ones. And I was like,
I always thought
I got so excited.
I like can't believe that people didn't like the aesthetic of the old school looking mic.
Yeah, if you're listening, the microphone I'm using specifically is like basically the one that is like the microphone emoji.
Yeah, because like even musicians, like they'll go out of their way
to do old school mics and stuff. Yeah.
Anyway,
that's a whole separate world for my channel.
So today, what are we talking about today, Tom?
Well, we're going to talk about YouTube a little bit, which is something we dabble in. But we're kind of talking about this world of YouTube advice, which originally, I don't know if I'm introducing it correctly. So if I'm wrong, feel free to smack me and correct me. But we had a conversation about Clubhouse.
Okay, I think I should introduce this because this was my
That means, Tom, you did it wrong.
No, you didn't do it wrong. Stop it.
I got one sentence in.
No, because it was my idea. This was my idea, and this is why I brought it up. Okay. So Clubhouse is an app which I'm sure many of us here are familiar with. If you're not, it's probably because you don't have an iPhone, but that will change pretty soon. Anyway,
Heather's going to give you all iPhones. No, I'm kidding.
It's a drop-in audio conferencing app is how I would describe it. But anyway, there's obviously conversations happening about absolutely everything, but by the nature of the people that we're connected with, a lot of the conversations that pop up are about YouTube.
Yeah.
And I talked about it a little bit last week, but I feel weird going into the YouTube rooms because I don't know if it's imposter syndrome or whatever, but there's just a part of me that like feels like, I don't know. I just don't feel, I don't want to go into a room with other successful YouTubers unless we're talking about our experience with YouTube. If I'm going into a room with other successful YouTubers that are talking about tips about YouTube, that's where I'm like, these people are not going to benefit from what I have to say because I'm not adding anything new to the conversation. I would rather go to a room of people who are new to YouTube, and then like I can give my advice there. So I just have, I don't know, there's just a part of me that isn't like jumping into these rooms for some reason, but Tom still peeks in and every now and then.
I've had like magical moments on Clubhouse.
Every time he does, I'm like, so have they said anything different or something that you didn't know or something like that? Like, what's been your impression popping in and out of these conversations? Right.
Yeah. Because when I first went into it, and like Luis is the Clubhouse master, like I've had literally like magical moments that couldn't have happened on other media platforms. Right. Mm-hmm. And that endeared me to it very early on. But, you know, it's a new platform. But over the past couple of weeks, it kind of, in my opinion, feels like people sort of like figured out their strategies. And you pop into like these rooms where you're hoping to sort of talk to, you know, like just sort of have like down to earth conversations. And it's just sort of like the same advice over and over again. And we're trying to figure out like, why is it always the same advice? Is it the same for everybody? Is it like, you know, are you just doing the same? Is it like you're doing a show? Like, hey, I'm on Clubhouse today. Here's my advice. I'll be giving the same advice tomorrow, and maybe it'll be a different group of people. And this is your thing that you do. Like when a speaker goes just on a speaker tour kind of thing, or like, is it just because it's, you know, I don't know. It just seems like you just hear the same thing.
My favorite part about Clubhouse is like being on the same playing field with other YouTube creators. So if it's like a bunch of us just talking about like, what are you working on? What's working for you? What isn't working for you? What are you struggling with? Like, I like that because it puts us all, it gives us that opportunity to network and to connect and stuff like that. But if it's rooms about like, you know, YouTube secrets and like growth hacks and all of that, that's the part where I'm just like, I don't really got any YouTube secrets, yo. Yeah. So have fun. And I like, you know, I don't know. So that's my deal.
Yeah. I mean, I just like the genuine, you know, where it feels like friends hanging out.
Yeah.
In like a clubhouse.
Yeah.
And you get to just sort of have those conversations. I love that.
That's a lot of what hooked me into the app in the first place was because it was that you hear, like, you actually got to hear from really successful big name YouTube creators that were saying the same things that I struggle with. Yeah. And that, like, you know, it's
the level playing field.
Yeah, exactly. Was like, I love
amazing.
That. Yeah.
I have to point out though, Luis said nice haircut. Thank you.
It's great.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten a haircut in months because everything had been closed, and I was finally able to get one yesterday, and it feels so much better. And so tip your stylist if you go.
Tip your stylist. Okay, so let's segue.
Oh, Jared, though. This isn't maybe a nice segue.
Oh, here.
Jared said, I feel like every time I'm on Clubhouse, people are just reading their resumes and talking about what they do and have accomplished. There's kind of you can feel the self-promotion. I guess there's be a separate like Clubhouse episode, the ups and downs of like authentic Clubhouse.
I'd love to, you know, Luis, like, I'd love to hear your take on this.
Luis probably has more experience. And he did something amazing the other day. I need to give you props on because this should be a feature in the app. I saw Luis in Clubhouse, and he changed his profile picture to be the same one, but it had a little text on it that said just listening. And I was like, that's great because now he's there, but people are going to know, like, oh, don't ask him to go up on the stage or whatever. I was like, that should just be a feature. You put that on, it puts a little icon or something over your profile picture, and then people know, like, oh, I'm just listening. I can't, like, talk right now. But there we go. And then Raphael said the first week was the best. The numbers were low, and was able to talk with some big YouTubers, talk one-on-one with them. Now it feels like a call-in show. Yeah, I mean, it goes back to, you know, it's a tool, and it's how people choose to use the tool. Right. It's not that Clubhouse is inherently one way or the other. But
yeah, of course.
But that segues into, you know, if you're a YouTuber and you go to Clubhouse, there's a lot of people talking about YouTube strategies, and whether it's good advice or bad advice or whatever, it's a lot of similar advice. And sometimes it can be great. Like, I think anyone who has a YouTube channel they're taking seriously has, at some point, to some degree, gone to a YouTube coach. Heather is a YouTube coach.
But Tom is too. Like, I would say that you are too.
But I mean, you know, like, you seek out advice from other people, and it can be helpful. And sometimes you do just need it's like, you know, diet and exercise, like, ultimately, like, burn more calories than you take in. That's how you're going to lose weight. You know, there's infinite ways to go about doing that, but at the core, maybe you just need a trainer to tell you, like...
Yeah, maybe you need to do group exercise, you do a group class.
You just need to be reminded from time to time, that kind of stuff. Yeah. But there's the thing with YouTube is it's such a unique journey for everybody. Like, it's the same platform. Maybe some of the goals are similar, growing or building an audience or earning revenue or expressing your creativity, or like whatever your goal is, you know, there can be a lot of overlap, but the experience is
going to be totally
so different for everybody. And what can happen is sometimes, you know, somebody will have their experience and then share it, which is amazing, but if it's shared in a way of like almost like a recipe, like these are the steps to take to get these results, that's where I think there's problems. And we bring this up because one of our friends yesterday, who has by all accounts, a successful YouTube channel. It's smaller and it's growing, but it's been growing incredibly well. He's been getting better and better at everything. Like, it's way beyond where my channel was at that point in time. Like, by all accounts, it's a successful YouTube channel. Was almost like on the verge of just like, man, I don't know if I'm doing it right. I should just give up, because he saw some
he saw this video that's been popping up in my YouTube feed, in your YouTube feed, and I'm assuming probably a lot of your
which is
guys'
weird
YouTube
because our
feeds.
feeds are so different.
Yeah.
And it's just a recommendation thing, and we've been skipping over it. We didn't even know we were getting the same video, and then our friend was like, I just watched this video and I'm like devastated, I don't know what to do.
And like,
and then Heather watched it and she was like, hey Tom, do you know what video this is? And I was like, oh, is it this one? And she's like, yes. So anyway,
because this will happen like every, I don't know, 3 months. Someone will come out with a video where they're in the thumbnail, they're holding their either YouTube paycheck or a YouTube silver play button, or they're there with their finger over their mouth, like, because they have all these YouTube secrets to tell, and it's something like, oh, how I got from 0 to 100,000 in 6 months, or, you know, how much YouTube pays you with having X many subscribers or whatever, and like, it'll just be trending and being pushed out and suggested like so aggressively. I never clicked those because
right.
I don't know. It's not interesting to me. Obviously, maybe it's not.
And the videos tend to do well, so clearly they're interesting to people.
Yeah.
But anyway, this one specific video, we started watching it to like, so we could talk to our friend. And
well, I was like, okay, let's see. Like, I am willing to give everyone an open mind. Like, I'm not saying, you know, let's preface this with, we are both YouTube coaches, you know, and we totally believe that everyone's journey is completely different. Like, we're not saying that if you do it our way, you're gonna, you know, win. It's not about one size fits all. It's about finding what works for you, for the individual creator.
It's more out of concern for people becoming discouraged because they're hearing something that makes them feel they're doing things wrong. I mean, there are times when you need to reevaluate and go like, is this the thing? But it's also like a long haul. Like, it's not a short accomplishment. So what we thought about doing was trying to literally go through the video with you on the stream and sort of break down points, because there are actually like positive points. We haven't even seen the entire thing yet because we kind of wanted to save
watch it with you guys.
But you know, going through the parts we've gone through, like, there are positive points that I actually wholeheartedly agree with, but there's also stuff that I disagree with, and I'm strongly, yeah. But I'm hesitant. You know, we've never done like let's look at someone else's video, because I'll never dislike a video. I'll never do anything like that. And the last thing I would want is to like be critical of another person on the YouTube platform, but just knowing how the advice like personally affected someone. Yeah, but even I just want to offer a counterpoint to it.
Right.
To the advice, not against the person.
Right. But also, if you scroll through some of the comments, there's similar reactions. Like, oh, I guess I'll never be good enough for YouTube. And it's like, okay, so out of the 100-something thousand people that have watched this, how many people are going to quit or not even start or not even try because of what you said in this video? And I just feel like that's such a shame.
I'm trying to set up a little screen share thing here, so bear with me, y'all.
Okay, so I'm going to link the video here in the chat. If you guys want to watch it on your own time, cool. We're going to watch it right now if we can get this.
Heather became the Ecamm pro, and I'm the Ecamm noob now, so this is as good as we got, babe. Okay. Is that okay for you, babe?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I think we could do something pretty up here and maybe do like... Oh no, I don't have anything. Oh well, so this is our screen share.
This is what
it is. What it is, you know. If you, I'm learning.
Hit that like button, babe.
What like button? Oh, on our video? Yeah.
Bam.
So this is just our video. I just wanted to make sure you guys can actually hear it before we jump into the other one.
So let us know. Can you hear this?
Can we hear this? I can't do like if I don't know. If something is,
why is it so quiet?
Upset,
oh, turn on your YouTube.
Sick, or like there's something wrong, then I can't do something that's creative.
Can you guys hear this?
But at the same time,
give us a thumbs up
without an echo or anything.
The emoji,
or just tell us whatever. Or like 10,000 news stories about pandemic. Sorry about that.
coming in here and making a video about a microphone or like a camera or something is unbelievably like refreshing and therapeutic. So that has also been a great way to de-stress, is just go, okay, I can spend hours.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna fade this down.
Can you guys hear this?
But at the same time,
I think people might have been confused because it was still our voices.
I know, it's kind of a bad test.
Well, I didn't want to just throw up. Okay.
Okay, we're
so
good.
people
We're
said
good,
louder.
we're good.
Yeah. Okay.
Go.
Gotcha. There's also like a 40-second delay. So
Yeah.
So anyway, here is the video.
So here's a video.
And I need to be extra clear as a YouTube creator, as a teacher, as a human.
We're
do
not bashing.
not want to be critical of a person. We're just critically looking.
We would
at
never do that. I mean,
ideas
we've talked about negative comments, and we're creators. We get it. We're not judging in that way. It's more of like
offering an alternative perspective.
Yeah. So basically, in this video, her name is Katie. What she does is she did grow her channel from 0 to 100,000 subscribers in 6 months. Like, straight up, that's what she did. And she's talking about her experience and offering advice based on that. And
which is insane, by the way. Like, to be able to grow your channel
that's
from
a
0
fantastic
to 100K.
accomplishment. My issue is that I feel like, based on the reception in the comments, like, some people are watching this video and thinking that YouTube is just not for them because they don't fit these qualifications that she listed out, which really, well, I'll let you guys watch that first part.
Yeah. So, okay, so let's just start it, I guess. Godspeed to all of us.
Hopefully you guys
start your YouTube channel, and if you're watching this video, I know that the thought is lingering in your brain. And so just listen to me and just go ahead and do it.
Bruh.
You have nothing to lose. Hey, it's Kitty U, and I am here to spill the tea on how I achieved YouTube clout in less than 6 months. I'm making this video as if I was your friend who wanted to give you super real and raw, honest advice because I want the best for you. I'll be honest, if you clicked on this video to hear, yes, you can make it on YouTube as long as you make pretty thumbnails and just upload consistently, like, it will happen for you. Hate to break it to you, but I can't say that. I'm here to tell you the brutal, cold, hard, honest truth that nobody told me when I started. This video is gonna be divided up into multiple parts. First, I'm gonna be giving you brutal honesty and tough love tips that I wish somebody told me to my face. Then I'm going to be running through my YouTube journey personally of when I hit certain milestones, how I got monetized. And then I'll tell you a little bit about my theories of what I believe my keys of success were in order to achieve 100K subscribers in less than 6 months. Then I'll be telling you a little bit about the equipment and software I use because I get those questions a lot in my DMs. And finally, I'll be giving you a super quick business of YouTube 101 rundown, contracts, invoices, negotiations, emails, managers, and if we have time, because this video is probably gonna take freaking forever to film and edit, I'll be going through some questions that y'all submitted on my Instagram and my Discord. I always prioritize listening to your input there because, Okay,
I'm just gonna pause there. So, the intro here, the thing, what are your thoughts at this point?
None.
You don't have any?
No.
Okay. The thing that I immediately have just that I want to point out is, while growing from 0 to 100K in 6 months is a wild accomplishment. You can't do that without talent and effort and all that stuff. It's absolutely not the norm. It is by far the exception. It took me 6 months to get to 100 subscribers. It's the exception. And my personal opinion as me is that doing anything for 6 months is not really enough time to speak as an authority on it. It's definitely enough time to share your experience and hey, this is what I've been doing so far, because everybody's experience is their own valid experience. But in terms of like, this is how it is and this is the truth, you do not have the data set, you do not have the experience, regardless of success or failure, to speak on that at that point. And that's where I start to have issues. If you've started a new job at like a company, a lot of companies have 6-month probationary periods where like you're not even an official employee until you've been there for 6 months, because it takes so long just to get into the groove of things. And so a lot of it sort of feels like if somebody won the lottery and then gave you all the tips on like, okay, so here's what you do. You go to the store, you got to get that ticket. Sometimes you can pick your own numbers. Sometimes you do a quick pick. All right. You get a pen. It could be a blue pen. It could be a black pen though, but it's got to be a pen. And then you do, and it's like, yes, 100% you are accurate, but there's so much that's just out of our hands that like, I'm not going to get the same results just because I do this. Not necessarily that everything you're doing is wrong, but it's not like following a recipe.
You know, like get these ingredients, combine them, cook them this way. You're going to end up with these cookies. Hopefully the recipe was for cookies. It just doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah,
so,
I just want to shout out Kimberly here. The two of your alternative perspectives are always positive and help me want to be better. I love that. Thanks, Kimberly. And Ron's here. How's the move? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying your new house. Yes, congrats.
All right, we're going to go
Ron in the house. I'll let you pause it this time.
Y'all are my people, and make sure to follow me on there if you want to participate in these kind of videos in the future. And yeah, all the timestamps are linked in the description. First, brutal honesty. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you have seen this Bermuda Triangle going around on the internet. And it's
okay, if you can't see it, it says good grades on the top of this triangle.
basically like you can't
it says
have
good grades, social life,
and
justly choose to.
That you can replace
college.
the three corners with unique editing, a catchy personality, and content value. In order to have even a chance of blowing up on YouTube, you need to have at least two of these. That's
okay. So she just said if you want a chance on YouTube, or if you will have a chance on YouTube if you can pick two of these. The top one that's kind of getting cut off says catchy personality, content value, and then unique editing. So you need to pick two of these to even fathom a chance of success on YouTube.
And I mean, at the core, with a video that has a catchy personality with content value, unique editing is a good video. And so there's nothing wrong with saying to be successful on YouTube, you need to make good videos. Like there are objectively bad videos out there. We've all seen them. Most of us have also made them at some point. And that's not going to be successful, right? So I agree with the idea that yes, you do need to make good videos, but yeah. So anyway,
I'm going to let her finish her point here.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's like a good benchmark, and so I would suggest doing some real soul searching and really asking yourself, do I bring these three elements, or at least two of these, to the table? Because at the end of the day, you need to give viewers a reason to stay. My next tip.
So that's where I don't even know where to start with that one. So here's my problem with this triangle. Okay, is it was good unique editing. Mm-hmm. Content value, mm-hmm. and a catchy personality. If you are relatively new to YouTube and you're already having fears and hesitations and doubts, I feel like for most people who see that triangle, they're automatically going to think, I suck at editing, I'm super boring, and I still don't really know what my channel is going to be about. So automatically you strike out. Why bother with YouTube? So
it's not that those are incorrect things that go into a good video, but for people who are just getting started, many people who are 6 months or more into their YouTube journey, they're still struggling with those things. And
they see that and they're like, this is why. I don't have a catchy personality. My editing sucks. And I don't have a, unique value proposition.
Right.
And I think that's a terrible take, because I would never I don't know what this says about me, but I would never describe myself as someone who has a catchy personality or unique editing. Even my editing is not unique. It's
good.
It's just editing. It's
unique hammering when building a house.
It's like saying oh, your writing is really good. At what point is it good, Mr. English teacher? If you know your alphabet, you know how to put sentences together, and basic grammatical structure, at what point does, a average essay turn into a really good one? It's the same thing with the video. Even if you have amazing editing, but your thumbnail sucks, that's true. No one's going to watch a video.
Or just the content, the purpose of the video is not...
Yeah, and in terms of the personality, oh my God, I can give you so many examples of people who do not show their face, who don't show their personality at all, who've been super successful on YouTube. I would never presume to put myself out there and say, I have a catchy personality, guys. That's why it's working. That's why Tom's working, because he has a catchy personality. I think the beauty about YouTube is that there's a lot of us who felt like we didn't fit in, that we didn't have catchy personalities in our real world growing up, whatever it is. And we found that on YouTube because we were able to connect with our people who thought our personalities were catchy because we jive. Like, we're just on the same wavelength. So to tell someone who's completely unfamiliar with this territory that, like, this is the prerequisite to get in, just really pisses me off, like, straight up, because I think that's going to discourage a lot more people than it is going to encourage people. How many people are going to be like, okay, the prerequisite is catchy personality, that's me, I guess I'm going to succeed? Like, I think there's very few extroverts are going to do that, but I think most people are, you know, they're scared to put themselves out there.
But one piece of advice that you and I have given many times to people is, yes, feel free to include your personality. So if you have, you know, if you like cheesy jokes, if you have an accent, if you have a hobby or whatever, it doesn't have to be the centerpiece of your channel. But yeah, if you're doing,
that's
you
how
know,
you stand out.
Right. You know, you're doing, you know, Heather just was doing a stream yesterday and someone was like, the backwards hat and laid back vibe is what made me want to start my YouTube channel. She's giving YouTube advice, and some of it is the same advice you're going to hear from other coaches, but hearing it from someone that you connect with because she puts her personality into it is what makes it unique in that way. You know, like, you can listen to a camera or microphone review, but if you hear a cheesy pun or whatever, maybe that's something that's going to endear you to my channel. So yes, like, having a catchy personality or just letting your personality shine can absolutely be a strength. But yeah, like Heather said, I mean,
like, if you want to be a Jenna Marbles, a PewDiePie, you know, like these other just how was I say Logan Paul? I don't really know the, like, variety personality channels, but, like, if you want to be that type of channel, David Dobrik, right? Who's just like, what is his channel about? A lot, like,
it's a personality.
Yeah, it's a personality driven channel. Yes, like, you do need a catchy personality.
But even those people have been doing it for many years, and they often have, like, thousands of videos to the point where they became a personality. And that's a whole different thing. It's just a whole different world from what most of us here are doing. We should probably check in to see where people are on the discussion here. Jessica was saying, I believe her videos are completely specific, or a complete specific niche that's really popular right now. It's sad there are people being discouraged because I do believe it's about finding your niche. Yes, when it comes to anything artistic.
Yeah, and that's another thing, that YouTube at the end of the day is a creative, artistic endeavor. It's a huge part of it, and I just think, like, it would be like Michelangelo telling you that you need to be a sculptor in order to see, you know, in order for your work to be successful. That's like so not true.
And Mr. Camera Junkie Luis is bringing up catchy personality is subjective.
Exactly.
Because Logan Paul bugs the heck out of me. Like, I don't want to watch a Logan Paul video.
I've never seen a Mr. Beast video, and I have no shame in that. I'm not doubting that he's a very successful YouTube creator. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, and there's people I watch that might seem like very dry and very
Gerald Undone literally reads the instruction manual of cameras.
He's got a catchy personality, though.
I wouldn't even say that, though. I'm sure he does, but I've never seen a video. But his voice is so monotone and dry.
Right, he talks very fast, very technical, very just down to earth.
Yeah, and you want to talk about unique editing style? Like, he's not doing the pan ins, the quick cuts, the, like, text that pops out of nowhere like she is. So does that mean his editing is not unique? Like,
right.
That's where, see, this is where the whole
but it's the thing, I'll watch those videos all day.
Yeah,
and I love that personality. Matthew said, I can vouch for that. I'm pretty new to YouTube, 3 months in. Congratulations.
Yay.
And the only thing people come to my channel for is my content. The other right. And that's how you have to start. Like,
right.
Because you don't it just takes time. It takes reps. It takes practice. And there are outliers, and there are, different situations and things like that. But it just takes that time. And I think that focusing on the content first is great. Like, in my case, I remember doing, like, my very first video is how to get your drone license. I try to be friendly in the video and, like, encouraging to people that they'll feel confident to pass their drone pilot test. But there's not, like, a lot of personality in that video. And the editing, it's just me talking at the camera for 20 minutes. And, like, I think a couple graphics pop up when I talk about, like, an application or something. I think there's some screenshots of the test. So it's not catchy editing, but it serves a purpose. Like, people who need that information get that information from that video. And that's all that it needed to do at that time. And then I could keep making videos like that and learn along the way little editing tricks, learn, how to be comfortable on camera, how to inject personality, like what do I want to include, what do I not want to include. Like I don't use profanity on my channel. There's no reason that I couldn't. You're allowed to on YouTube, but I don't. And sometimes it could be super funny, but I don't. And like those kinds of things you figure out along the way, but you have to figure it out.
Jessica says, I feel that if all my videos are animation, how can you tell I have a catching personality in that way? Like my brother doesn't show his face in any of his videos. And it's like, I mean, I wish he would, but yeah, his channel's doing really well.
Raphael said dry, raise his hands. Yes. Talk about Canada Dry over here as that guy.
This is all quite interesting from where I sit and the experiences I have.
Now, if you want to talk about catchy personality, you should go catch an episode of
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going because I still have a lot of thoughts with this. So here we go.
Might sting a little. If you want the truth of whether your videos hold value and untapped potential for the algorithm to potentially blow up one day, pay attention to what your acquaintances and your distant circle or like Instagram mutuals or coworkers you barely know are saying about your videos. If you are getting occasional signals from people you haven't talked to in years, like just watch your latest YouTube video and like, it's actually really good, you should keep going. You should take that as a sign it has potential to enamor strangers. If you are not getting any of these signals, you gotta change something about your videos or YouTube might not be for you. Because if you're not...
I have thoughts about this one. Because for a lot of us, for me, I didn't want anyone in my real life to know I had a YouTube channel for a long time. And I looking back, I can say that's sort of silly. Like, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. But using your in real life network...
As a gauge
is...
Are you kidding me? My brother laughed in my face when he saw my first vlog.
I mean, she does say don't use like your really close friends and relatives because you're not going to get accurate information from them, but you're sort of like extended network of people, your acquaintances. If they're interested in it, then it probably means somebody else could be interested. I hear that, but I think the better gauge is literally like, you're not going to get, when you start YouTube, a flood of comments and a flood of views and stuff, but hey, do you get a couple here and there that are like, oh, great video, thank you. Oh, I really enjoyed this. Like, do you get a couple subscribers every month when you're just starting out? Like, are things moving in the right direction? Hey, that's probably a pretty good thing to do. Or, like she mentioned, like social media circles. So sure, if you're sharing a video on your Instagram or something and people are like, oh, great video, I really like this. And they're people that you know only through online, that could be a really good gauge. But the in real life thing, for so many people, YouTube is an escape from their real life situation, or it's a way to connect with people because they don't fit in where they're at in real life. And so if I had gauged everything about my in real life situation prior to YouTube, everything would have told me you are stupid for doing this.
Right, exactly. And like, she's also in college, so I think if I think back to myself in college, like I was interacting with a lot more people daily than I am now, so it might be easier for you to get that. But like, if you're not in college, you're 65 and you're starting YouTube, like, does that mean, and no, you're not telling anybody about it, does that mean
telling like the FedEx guy?
Yeah, like this is anyway, let's continue. Oh, real quick, Alan says, are we all going to ignore that she's talking to a pencil with a fuzzy ball in the end, pretending it's a mic? So
catchy personality.
That's the stuff that I would never call out because that's her style. Like,
you do your thing.
Yeah, like I have purple hair, like whatever. That's her thing. Doc Rock. Hey, Doc Rock. People talk about how much personality a dog has, which is impossible since the root word is person. You can build affinity without seeing the person. There you go.
Vibes, as I think Raphael said.
Aaron says, my wife would be the only one to know about my YouTube channel.
And for me, I remember starting out, I didn't want to share my channel with my in real life people because
literally it was like a coming out video, you guys, when he finally did.
Oh yeah, I shared it on like a Facebook post or something.
It was this whole essay.
But it was after I had like 100 subscribers and it was like an end of the year thing.
You should totally do a podcast on rereading that post.
I mean, I pushed a button. There's buttons here. Anyway, sorry, my headphones have buttons on them and I didn't know this whole time. But anyway, these have, sorry. Thoughts.
Yes.
Okay. For me, what I didn't want to do was if I was just starting my channel, like, hey, I hit new account, I uploaded one video, let me share it with everyone. To me, what that felt like was it would be implicitly encouraging people I know to subscribe to the channel, which sounds cool, except that it literally might not be for them, and that's going to throw things off in a weird direction. Great, I have 20 subscribers, but I get 0 views on my videos because they're all just random people in my real life that don't care about the stuff that I'm talking about. So in my mind, I was like, I'm going to wait till I have 100 before people find out, because then they'll see that like my channel's up and running and it doesn't need their like pity support. It can be something that I'm already doing and they can join it if they wanted to. So that was kind of my logic behind it, but that's also a reason of, you know, like it's great to have supportive people in your life, but sometimes it's going to skew your data.
I'll always go back to my brother laughing at my face.
Your brother with a successful YouTube channel?
Yeah, who has his own successful YouTube channel now. Like, literally laughed in my face, told me to take it down, told me, like, oh my God, no one's going to hire you because you look stupid in this video and you look vulnerable and you're putting out, you know, you're putting your weaknesses out there.
This is also like 5 years ago, so times were different.
Obviously, his YouTube channel now, too, but I'm just saying, like, that should not, like, what if I let that stop me? I wouldn't have met you. That's so the scariest thought. Oh my God. Anyway.
Yeah, Kevin, look what you almost did.
Gary, I usually ask my wife opinions on my videos because she's very hard to impress. If she tells me it's good, then I know that there's something to it. I watch all of Tom's videos before he uploads them.
And her feedback is, it's good, babe.
Doc says, I feel targeted with that 65 comment. So
one of my favorite YouTubers is 81. So.
There you go. One of my clients is 73. Like, it's... I love the fact that stories from like older people can be told, and that's the thing. Like if you
did you just call Doc Rock older?
No, but it's like I say 65 because there's a lot of like a lot of my potential clientele where I live tends to be older, and a lot of them look at YouTube and think, oh my God, I'll never be able to learn how to edit like that. I don't know tech and whatever. But it's like, that's not a reason why you shouldn't do it. Like, that's overcomeable. You could totally learn that. It's a learning curve, but that doesn't mean that you're going to fail.
Right.
Like, it doesn't mean that you don't qualify to even try.
True.
Ron says, I'm noting a distinct lack of crappy puns in her video. How is this even a successful channel? Tom's mic is a little hot.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Still learning the ins and outs of
it's a joke. He's only 54.
I was going to say, like, geez, you look really good for 65.
That mic is so distracting as the YouTube plaque is not hanging on the wall and the on-screen text was too quick. I didn't get her at all. Well, I think like the
I think
screen,
that's the style.
Yeah, you have to like pause it and like go back and stuff.
I think that's like the stuff my students would love.
Yes,
but I'll never edit.
She's in college, so it's like that demographic
that's
likes the stuff that flies around and blah de da.
Yeah.
Okay, so here let's go on a little bit more.
Okie doke.
Not able to enamor even the people that kind of know you in real life, how are you going to enamor a bunch of strangers who will click and subscribe? You know what I'm saying? This leads me to my next point. I get so many DMs asking, Katie, how did you overcome the fear of people finding out about your channel? I'm so scared of posting because I'm scared that my old high school friends will find out. I don't want my parents to find out. Let me just ask you this. The goal of starting a channel, you want to go viral, right?
Yeah.
Thousands, if not millions of views, right?
Yes, gaga. Slay, mama.
So why are you worried about the opinions of a few hundred, maybe a few thousand Instagram mutuals that know you in real life? The number...
That wasn't my sound effect, by the way. It was in the video. So this was where we started having thoughts.
So she just said, if you didn't catch that, was the goal of doing YouTube is to go viral. Hundreds, thousands, millions of subscribers is, I believe, what she said.
Right.
So why are you going to worry about what a handful of people say, like your ex-high school friends or, you know, people in your life, which I think is a valid point.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a really
True.
good point.
True.
Yes.
True.
But also know the reason why a majority of people, I think, do YouTube is not to necessarily go viral.
True.
Like, are you kidding? If literally that was my primary goal, I would be making all different kinds of content and none of you guys would be here because it wouldn't be for you.
Because also, going viral has the potential to do a lot of damage, sometimes permanent damage to a channel or a reputation or whatever. And that could be a really bad thing, as opposed to steady, consistent growth, or going viral at a time when your channel is more developed and you're ready to handle it. So
yeah,
definitely. I mean, that could be somebody's goal. I want to get as many views as possible. It's not our goal, but it could be somebody's out there. It's not illegal or anything to have that as a goal.
Of course, that's fine. Like, yeah,
but that's why you don't want to speak objectively of like, obviously the reason you're starting YouTube is to go viral, right? That's why we're all here. No, actually, like, not at all. Trust me. Yeah, again, be making very different videos if that were the case.
I don't remember what her channel is, but I want to show you guys an example of somebody. Bear with me.
My YouTube recommendations are all microphone comparisons now.
Okay. So let me show you guys this channel.
I love it, and I've never seen a video from it.
It's called The Strive Studies. I've been following her for maybe almost 2 years now, but she was the inspiration behind me trying Work With Me. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in these videos, what she does is, look, let's do this. This is from 2 months ago. It has almost 500,000 views. It's 4 hours long. This is what it is. I'm just going to skim through some of this video. This is it. I forgot what her name is, but she's on her computer working.
It's basically like you just have a coworker next to you who's working while
she's
you're
not
working.
talking. She's not explaining anything. It's freaking 4 hours long, which, breaks every single rule about how the length of a video or whatever. And there's no catchy personality. There's no unique editing. There's a very strong value proposition because there's these types of videos really help people. I was reading online, like a lot of ADHD people really like feeling like they're working with someone in the room. So you would just have this on and it feels like you're like studying with someone or working with someone.
And then she's got the timers on screen. So you do the work for 20 minutes, take a 5-minute break thing.
By Katie's advice, this is not a channel that would be successful, but it's totally successful in its own right. And what's cool about her is that she started this channel when she was studying for med school. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's like you didn't create this channel to go viral. You created this channel because you wanted to educate people on the journey of applying to med school, studying for MCATs, becoming a doctor. She has 2 channels, but then also just providing comfort and company for people who are studying or working for whatever. And it doesn't fit the formula that Katie talks about in her video. And there's I can go on and on with a list of people who do not fit that.
Right.
And are still successful on YouTube. Sorry, that was a tangent. Okay, we're going to keep going.
Nick. Oh, yeah, Nick. He's someone who knows about this. I had a video take off 500,000 views in a week, and it was a struggle from a mental health perspective. Humans aren't ready to receive that much feedback.
Yes.
Yeah, and...
Also, Nick, we need to check out your channel because we need some help with some interior decorating situations.
But also, the thing about it, too, is I just recorded a podcast yesterday where I talked about this. I had friends when we were just starting out our YouTube channels, like a couple hundred subscribers, and I had a couple of friends who were really into like their media kits and their this and that, and I was like laughing, like, what are you doing? We don't even know what we're doing. Why are you making this stuff? But over the years, they did have things that eventually take off, and they have now hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they had put all these things in place over the first year of their channel that was a solid foundation that when things did start picking up, they handled it well. Like their mental health survived, their content strategy survived, their business strategy survived, their channel survived, because they had these things in place for when there was, whether you would call it viral or just like natural growth curve, it was ready to go. Whereas like I've never had a video do what Nick's did, but maybe about a little over a year into my channel, I had like my first viral video. At the time, videos were getting like maybe 100 views in a week, and this one was getting, for a week, it got 10,000 views a day. So that was a really
Huge
weird thing for
jump.
me.
Yeah.
But it brought in, it was a video, it was actually about my Apple Watch when I got it. I don't make Apple product videos, and so that brought in people who wanted to see more Apple videos, and those aren't the videos I make. It also completely messed up all of my data up until about 3 months ago, because all of my YouTube analytics then had this giant spike that just skewed everything.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get an accurate read on what the heck my channel was doing. And it's only been in the past like 3 months, maybe 4 months, that my channel now consistently performs at or above that peak. And so the data isn't as skewed anymore, and I can actually understand what's happening. And that sucked, because that was like 2 years of like me not being able to understand, because this one, it was fun to have a video that popped off and nothing really like bad happened because of it. But it definitely like wasn't ready. Whereas I had another video go like semi viral, for lack of a better term, this past fall, my like Zoom setup video. And because I was more prepared to handle it, my channel was more well defined, the video fit in with what I was making on my channel.
It really helped.
The library of videos that was already on my channel fit in with that. The future videos I made were the videos that people that video brought in wanted to see. It actually just boosted my whole channel consistently, as opposed to being like this weird thing. So
this weird outlier.
Going viral, I mean, if 2020 taught us anything, it's that going viral might not be a good thing.
Yeah. All right, I just want to give a shout out real quick to Joshua. We do our best. I'm fighting for my life. I have 5 cysts on my body, 2 on my brain. Glad to be part of this video. This is amazing, guys. Keep up the good work. Love to y'all, and everyone too. God bless. Wow, that's rough.
Well, we're rooting for you.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for being here.
If we can play any positive part in your journey, we are absolutely happy and honored to do that.
Let's see. My wife wants to hear nothing about YouTube or work. Taking oldest daughter to get some new clothes. We good? That's the extent of her interest. That's funny. Invest with fire. The more I think about this video and the more you break it down, the more I realize this video has some really general advice that doesn't apply to a lot of people.
Oh, there we go. Ron just made my joke.
I feel like after this year's going viral needs a rebrand.
Yeah.
After this last year. Jessica, seems like her tips are for a specific type of YouTuber who's only looking for views and AdSense money, which doesn't fit everyone out there.
Well, also, I feel kind of bad. I didn't want to bring this up, but I believe she's a recent college grad. You have a certain level of experience when you're like 22, and a certain perspective and certain interests and certain needs, and that could be different at different life stages. Not that it's not valid, but like the things that she might be looking for or needing or wanting, or somebody in that position might be different for somebody who's older, somebody who has a family, somebody who has a career. Like, you know, like what everybody's looking for can totally be different. So that's why I'm 100% for people sharing their experiences and their thoughts and their opinions. But I always take pause when that's shared as like the objective fact, when it is
right. Like, this is how you do it. Yeah. This is how you did it.
Yeah, this is what happened to me. So
yeah,
this is my thing. Your mileage may vary.
Yeah. Viral mentality is stupid. The word is misused. Remember the analogy I'd flawed because viruses get cured. Think how many viral at one point creators are no names now are gone. Yeah, one-hit wonders.
Well, yeah, exactly. I was going to say, think of a band that's a one-hit wonder. They've got that song that's just burned into your brain, but you don't know any of the other songs, versus another band that never had a hit at that level, but has just been consistently performing for decades. Like, you know, which would you really rather be?
Just because I value my privacy, my art friends circle is growing because I choose to. If people from my past I kind of know message me, I don't think I would reconnect with them. Let's see. She's a live action version of Chilled Cow. What's
the study? That's the anime girl that studies.
Oh,
she even has a cat too.
Let's see.
Study with me, literally. Tom's videos answer questions I didn't know I had. That's good. That's a good bit of feedback for me.
When I was in B school, our studying was more or less just being together and not talking except for SBUX breaks. Starbucks breaks. That channel is genius. Yeah. I mean, she has 2 channels, and she actually talks about her experience working in ER, where, so, she started her channel studying for med school. Now she's a doctor in the emergency room, which is really cool. Overall growth has been net positive. Now I've established boundaries with time I spend on comments. I check them and walk away from my channel.
Yeah, I think we'll have to talk more. Well, I mean, we will talk more, but it's interesting someone at that level where it is impossible to get to all of the feedback and all the input. Like,
everyone check out Nick's channel.
Yeah.
And also everyone check out Doc's channel, because he taught me a lot about Ecamm, which is the program that we use.
And now Heather needs to teach me more about Ecamm, because my overlay situation is not good.
Sam Wright says, I appreciate the creative freedom that a lot of smaller channels have. Not everyone, but it seems like most larger channels do tend to cater to their audience instead of doing what they want.
Yeah. I mean, that can be a really fun.
Okay, so let's watch a little bit more. This whole video is like 22 minutes, so we're not going to watch the whole thing.
We're going very slow through this.
We're only 4 minutes
Gone
in.
with the wind by the time we're done.
Do not add up, girl. Oh, and Listen, starting is really hard. I completely get that. I spent a month agonizing over this with my closest friends. Like, should I start it? I also know that the
What?
She spent a month agonizing on whether she should start her YouTube channel. People spend how long did you spend?
5 years.
There you go.
fear of failure is terrifying, especially when you are failing publicly, potentially, if you start and then you flop or something. But think about the opportunity cost of not starting. Let's say you start a YouTube channel, you work at it really hard for a year, you don't really see much returns. Maybe YouTube is not for you, and that's completely fine. You tried, you got it out of your system, and you know now. However, if you don't start, you will wonder for the rest of your life, what if I just tried it that one time? I feel like almost every one of you would agree with me that the pain and haunting thought of constantly reliving the what if you started a YouTube channel outweighs the immediate pain that you'll feel when you upload your first video and maybe your old high school friends find out and kind of laugh at it. That pain is temporary, but
okay, this was the biggest point for me, because it's a point I really agree with and a point I really disagree with.
Oh wow,
in the
I'm
same
curious.
point. So the second part of this, her thing of, you might as well give it a shot because you'll never know, and the pain of regret is going to be way worse than the pain of failing or the pain of being embarrassed or whatever. 1,000%, yes, for sure. I think that's the best nugget of advice in the video. 100%. My biggest regret is not starting sooner, and I know the same is true for many other people. So I could not agree with that more. That's such an important thing. But the trying for a year, not seeing much growth, maybe it's not for you. I mean, I didn't see a lot of growth after a year. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't even what a lot of my friends have seen and what people in our mastermind are seeing. And
yeah,
there's so many people. My students have bigger YouTube growth in a year than I had. And if for some reason that had been well, I guess I'm just not getting, I remember after a year, I was about at the point where if a video hit, I remember 35 being a number. If I could get 35 views the day I upload a video, I was it's pretty legit, because I don't know 35 people. So that means other people are watching it for sure. There are a lot of people who would end their YouTube careers at getting 35 views on a video. And by these metrics, maybe it just wasn't for me and I should just stop and do something else. But it's no, it's going to take, it's been 4 years now almost, and I barely feel like I have a handle on it. So.
Yeah, and to me, the really powerful aspect of YouTube is, I think it is the most effective way to build a brand, a lasting brand that you can take in a variety of directions for a really, really long time. You can, you can sell a course, you can do speaking, you can position yourself as a coach, you can promote your business, you can, start a bunch of new other creative endeavors, and no one can ever argue with the library of content that you've built over the years that'll keep working for you for as long as these videos are on YouTube. So, I think there are many times in my YouTube career where it felt like things weren't working. But objectively, being 5 years into this now and looking back, it's funny looking back at the times where, when I got into my first car accident, I live streamed that. It was 1 year after I started my YouTube channel. And it was also 1 year after I had quit my job to, start my own business. I had no idea where I was going to pay for the damages to repair my car. And when I did go live, there was 100% a bunch of comments from people like, oh, that's your fault. You can't drive. Like, you suck. You don't know how to pay for this. Clearly, you're failing as an entrepreneur. Like, there was a bunch of that. But that video ended up bringing me a $17,000 client. And obviously, it's not from that one video. It's because of the whole library of videos that had been, that was a person who had been following the journey, who had seen my skill set, who had proposed an opportunity to me because he saw what I was capable of. Like, there's a lot of factors there. And I want to say I didn't even have 2,000 subscribers, probably. Like, I don't really remember, but I had 4,000 when we met, which was a year.
I remember
later.
A year after that.
Yeah.
Well, I only had 2 subscribers when I sent you my email to meet. Not to meet, but the email that led to us meeting.
But like, my point is that I felt like that was a major, like, if there was any sign not to continue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's like everything. Yeah.
Like, my equipment was in my car. When I had slammed on my brake, my Yeti mic had slammed into, like, the car and it broke. So now I had to buy a new thing. I just, like, but I didn't quit. But for sure in the moment, I was like, why am I doing this again? Like, I questioned everything. And that ended up being such a pivotal moment of growth, even though it's not like I went viral. It's not like a bunch of thousands of subscribers or views kept coming in, but
you don't need those numbers to have a significant impact on yourself or others.
Yes. And that was a year in, guys. 1 year, like exactly a year into it. So not only did I not see viral success in my first year, a year later I hit a huge failure. I kept going.
Raphael asked a great question. Is speed of growth tied to age, a larger, younger audience? I could be wrong. I have a couple of thoughts. I'll be interested in what yours are. If I'm not mistaken, the largest growing segment on YouTube is like 55 and up. So that's interesting news. But also, I do think, there's so many examples of people from every age group, from little kids to the elderly, finding large success on YouTube. I do think, just anecdotally, younger people are probably more likely to do more extreme stuff, kind of outlandish stuff, big things, and that does get a lot of attention. I don't know how long that lasts, but maybe that ties into growth, whereas like older people are a little more like, hey, maybe I don't need to be completely extreme and off the walls all the time. It is, so maybe that plays into it. I don't know, but I don't. YouTube is such a, you can find giant groups of every age demographic.
Yeah.
I think.
But I definitely think that speed of growth tied to age that's an interesting concept. Like, because I just think of TikTok and how people go viral overnight. And, the TikTok audience tends to be younger. But I don't know. Alan, not sure the opportunity cost concept works here, since a creative goal isn't strictly economic, at least for the vast majority of YouTubers. Yeah.
Because you could have hardly any growth, but be creatively fulfilled.
Yeah.
And be super happy about what you're making, and it doesn't mean,
which is what your thing was. Like, you specifically were like, I have my job, I have my 9 to 5, and my YouTube is the complete opposite of that.
Right. Yeah, and I wanted the channel to grow and do well, of course, but it was more about like, I'd made a video, I did that thing, I learned this technique, I expressed this thought. That was the victory, not just growth milestones over which I have no control.
Love it. The age of the audience changed thanks to the pandemic. Random note, but I love that mouse pad.
Thanks. It's from Amazon. It's $13.
A flying Yeti mic is no joke. Yes, I have dropped Yetis. I was on my boosted board one day, and this freaking, the happiest bulldog. I was on the beach path. The bulldog ran across the beach path off the leash, and I had to jump off the board, and I landed on my backpack with my laptop, my camera, and my Yeti in it, because I was commuting on my skateboard. And
you're so cool.
I broke my microphone again.
I have one of the broken ones in here that I was like supposed to fix. It's in a box over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. I never fixed it.
YouTube viewings address our
like TV ratings. Entertaining content will score big, but not please everyone. Having alternative channels of both TV and YouTube should cater for all. Yeah, I mean, there's the big stuff.
Remove address there. Thank you.
Right. The it's like the trending page. If you go to the trending page on YouTube, most of the stuff is there. I'm like, I'll never watch any of this, but it's got a bajillion views. And
yeah, like I never watch the trending page. Like
I mean, every once in a while, something I like will pop up on there.
I don't
but
ever.
For the most part, it's like, no, this is totally not for me. But clearly, it's for other people, and I can go watch my stuff. That is
John. Big hello from Wales.
Hello.
Hope you are both well. Really enjoy your channels.
Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well too.
Jessica, seems to go back to her age and perspective. My channel is about a year old and I have less than 10 videos and about 100 subs, but I've gotten several patients in office because of it. There we go. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, the return is just different and the goals are different, and acknowledging that fact is important. So you, instead of saying, you know, if you do this for a year and you don't see growth, maybe it's not for you, you could say, my thought was if I did this for a year and I didn't see growth I was happy with, then I was going to do something else. Because then it would be tying it to your specific goals as opposed to this broad objective statement about a subjective situation.
Yeah. Are we going to watch more or?
Where are we at now? Oh, we can watch
We'll watch a little more.
A couple more minutes.
Yeah, a couple more minutes.
Honestly, asking yourself what if is forever. For the sanity of your future self, just freaking go ahead and try it.
Preach. I like this.
Yeah,
my
definitely
next point.
try it.
Queen of segues. You gotta self-plug your shit on every social media platform that you own, because I guarantee you everybody who knows you and sees your story post or whatever saying that you started a channel, they're gonna click out of curiosity, and that will boost your first few videos in the algorithm. The algorithm is not gonna promote 0 view videos, and so you might as well just use your circle that you know in real life. And also they have very high potential to be your first supporters, so you gotta self-plug your shit. I'm sorry, you're gonna be cringy, people are gonna roll their eyes, but it will pay off. However, when I mean self-plug, I do not mean comment on other YouTubers' videos saying, by the way, I'm a small YouTuber. Or on small YouTubers' channels especially, I would love if we could be friends and you could sub back.
Very true.
Anything on that kind of wavelength is against YouTube's official policy. And so if anybody saw that comment and reported it, YouTube could hypothetically take down your entire channel and then, you know, erase all the hard work and crying and tears that already went into that channel. So I really suggest you don't do it. Beyond that, even if that person subs back to you or people subscribe to you because they want to support a small YouTuber, chances are your watch time is not going to budge, because in order to be monetized you need to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And if somebody subscribed to you just because you subscribed to them, they didn't organically fall in love with your content, so they're not going to watch the videos you post. But that is not to say that comments are irrelevant and they're not a good way to grow your channel. A great way to potentially drag more eyes to your channel is to authentically comment on bigger creators' videos. One of the easiest ways for me to discover one of my subscribers' small YouTube accounts is if they comment a funny, organic, authentic comment on my video, and that makes me want to click on your channel, and then I'll probably like, comment, and subscribe. The next tip that I have is be strategic with your niches. Some niches have...
What did you think? I think it's true.
I mean, it's very true. And with the comment thing, I mean, yeah, you just never do the like, I have a channel, check it out here. Just never do it. It is very true. I met Peter Lindgren because I left comments on his channel. And
there you go. Now you guys are BFFs.
Clicked on my thing, yeah. But I didn't leave those comments with the ulterior motive of, oh, this is promotion, but I'm not calling it promotion, but it is kind of promote. I didn't do that. It was literally just, I got into a thing. The very first YouTube comment I ever left was on your video, in my life. And after that, and once I started a channel, I got comments. I got into the habit of, if I'm watching a video and I have a thought, positive, I'll never leave a negative comment on a video, and I have a thought, I'll leave the comment, because I realize, like, oh, if I'm having this thought about something that's positive, this person who made the video might appreciate hearing it. They might not care. They might never see it if it's a larger channel, but they might appreciate it. And if it's a larger channel and I think of like something that's funny, I'll put it there just so other people could like
get
see
a
joke.
Out of it. Yeah, that's
that has nothing to do with with and yeah, people might see that and they might then they might click on your thing and go find your channel. And YouTube even does a thing now where when you're on someone's channel, depending on what you're on, like it does it on mobile, I don't know if it does it on desktop, but if you go over someone's icon, it brings up like their channel stats, and it'll say like how big their channel is, what their videos are,
and how
like,
many times that person commented on
the channel you're watching.
Channel.
Yeah. So it's like this interesting thing, but it's kind of cool to find other creators that way. But anyway, it just comes through organic interaction on the platform versus, because I thought when I started my channel, I was like, oh, you know what, I should have my account for my channel should be its own thing, but when I'm just watching YouTube and I'm leaving comments, I should just be on like a personal account, a separate one.
No.
Yeah. And then I was like, no,
that is very flawed.
It should just be mine. And so like, yeah, it's my channel's account is the one that will subscribe to other videos, that will leave comments on stuff, that will do all that, because that's my YouTube account.
Right. Jessica says there's been research on TikTok that shows that site really caters to a younger audience and feeds that audience really specific videos, opting out some creators due to aging content.
They got in trouble for a lot of stuff a while ago.
Craig, hi Heather and Tom. Thanks for all your wonderful content. You've inspired me to create my own podcast and learning to build an online community for my Mac user group in London. Brew and Bite podcast. That's
you know
cool.
what, Craig? Great jobbins on that podcast. Sorry, you've probably heard that joke your whole life. I'm sorry.
The biggest crime you can commit for her generation is to be cringy, although I'm not sure they could define that.
Let me tell you, as a high school teacher, how much I get it. I get cringe as an adjective. I get it. Like, I think you even said it in your live stream yesterday. You said something about like cringe, something, whatever. I get it. I hate it because it really came to a head for me and my students about 2 years ago. Yeah, not last year, because last year was
I'm just laughing. It's such a
bonkers. But 2 years ago, it was this thing where there was like creative paralysis due to cringe, where kids were so scared of doing something cringy,
that was cringy
or whatever, that they just wouldn't do anything, and they wouldn't put their work out there. They wouldn't create something. And I was like, and so of course, then what I have to do is be like extra dumb and cringy in front of them. So that way, look, I'll be the cringiest person in the room always. So you just do whatever you're going to do. Because
You're such a good teacher.
But you know what is actually cringy is you sitting there not doing something creative because you care about what another 13-year-old or 14-year-old is going to care. They don't know nothing about nothing. Like, you make your thing and you be friggin' proud of it. And if it sucks, yes, when you're a senior, you should look back at your freshman work and go, oh, this is embarrassing and bad. That's fine.
Yeah, that's not like...
That's growth. It shows growth. But you can't grow if you don't actually make something. And it's been such an uphill battle. There was even like an Instagram page that like some students started, not my students, but other students started in secret, where they would do like school memes, which sounds sort of funny, but it was like, they would take clips from our broadcast we do every day. They would, take pictures of teachers during class or other kids and put them up. And like a lot of it was like weird, inappropriate things. And it was so bad. It started getting so popular, like a page of like thousands of followers and stuff, that kids were like so scared of doing anything that would get them
on that
noticed,
page.
And then they would be on that page. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to be reporting this page every day.
Raphael says he really doesn't like that noise, and neither does James. I don't like it either. I don't know what that is.
The fuzzy sound. Yeah. I know, it's very much a generational thing.
Someone on the internet said that most of what people think is cringe is just earnest, and I live by that now.
Sometimes when I think of like legit cringe, I think of like some scenes in The Office where it's literally, it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's what I think is cringe.
That you're physically cringing because you can't look at it like the episode of Phyllis's wedding of The Office or Scott's Tots. If you watch The Office, you know what I'm talking about, and you know that like it's almost like painful to watch.
What is that? There's like a name
shared embarrassment or something like that.
Yes, so like that's why I can't watch things like American Idol, because I feel shared embarrassment for them. That to me is like cringe,
right?
Because I'm literally like,
yeah, they're singing their heart, and that's even sad too, because like the producer knew that they're terrible, and they only brought them in because it would be hilarious to make fun of them.
Alan, I think that's the right strategy. Only comment positively or not at all, unless the audience is asking for their feedback. Then a kind honesty is okay.
Yes, constructive criticism.
Scott, whoa, I just joined and noticed the mics. Did Tom 3D print a time machine?
No, I just went to sweetwater.com and monoprice.com. This is the Shure Super 55. This is like, it's one of like the old school.
Whose mic sounds better, guys?
Yeah, well, then that's going to be a video because this one's $250. Heather's is a $60 mic from Monoprice, which is like a similar style. But I really like them. They're cool
I like
mics.
that style more.
I love it. I think I'm going to get, this is the Super 55. I think I'm going to get the regular 55 as well.
Cool.
And
Can you
then
let me have that one? Thanks, babe.
this one? No, this one is, this is my microphone.
fine.
It's blue. Are you kidding?
It's purple. James says they don't know nothing about nothing. Craig, thanks, guys. Do you have any more plans for our next show on Clubhouse? Why don't we jump on Clubhouse after this?
Yeah, we could go do a Clubhouse.
Yeah, we'll do Clubhouse after this. I think they're about to start a greaser bike. It's called Empathy. Yeah. Yes, Heather, yes. It's called Secondhand Embarrassment.
Yes.
Okay. So are we done?
I think that's probably a good spot. Yeah.
We'll end there.
You can go check
Watch
out
the rest
more.
of the video. And again, no hate on Katie. Like, you're rocking it. You're killing it. I can see how your content and your personality is very catchy. And I would say that you do have a unique editing style. And your
channel is beyond both of ours combined. So
yeah, but then also like your like to dislike ratio is awesome.
Ridiculous.
Like you have 11,000 likes and 84 dislikes. So clearly your content is resonating. I just think that if you are someone who's thinking about creating something, whether it be YouTube or a podcast or something where you're trying to build an audience, I would say going back to Tom's analogy of like if you want to exercise and work out, everyone has very different goals, whether they want to lose weight or become healthier or, have more energy for their kids or run a marathon or whatever. You're still working out, you're still doing fitness, but everyone has very different goals. There's also various ways to do that. You could do yoga, you could do dancing, you could do biking,
right.
You could do group fitness, you could do, get a private trainer, you could do weightlifting, all of these things. But just because you're not going to the Olympics doesn't mean it doesn't invalidate the entire thing at all.
If you go with this gym analogy, if you look at people who are consistently at the gym and achieving their goals, and you take someone who does free weights every day, someone who does group classes, someone who does swimming, someone who does cardio, and you line them up, they're probably going to physically look pretty different. Yeah. And the free weight person might be big and the swimmer is going to be lean. So they're all going to be fit, but it's going to be a different measure of success for the same thing. They're all at the same gym. They're all, in general, trying to improve their physical abilities in some way. And the end results are just totally different, and how long it takes and the way that they get there is entirely different.
The other thing I would suggest, the point that I was trying to make was if you're really serious about YouTube, I would suggest being cautious of these types of videos where someone goes viral and then they share their experience as if that's the way to go. It is the way to go for that person. And I encourage you to go to YouTube coaches hey, I'll plug us, but then there's also Think Media, there's Roberto Blake, there's video creators, I'm trying to think of other YouTube creator coaches. There's Diana Gladney. I'm trying to think of girls. Desiree Martinez. Who else? Think with Trina. There's a bunch of YouTube coaches out there, and maybe we dig into this and try to differentiate how they're different. But the YouTube coaches on YouTube have worked with a variety of YouTube creators from all kinds of sizes and goals and experiences and types of equipment that they use, that I feel like they are going to have a better perspective or at least a more rounded perspective to offer you in terms of what might work for you versus someone who's only done it once and only can only speak from their own personal experience. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and then also, shameless plug, if you want to work with Tom and I, we have our mastermind. It's called the YouTube Mastermind. There's a few members here, but we meet twice a month for group coaching and Q&A and just ongoing support. So if you want direct feedback from Tom and I about your YouTube channel. We straight up watch your videos. We do channel reviews. You know, we check in, we keep you accountable, and we meet twice a month. And then you also have access to us through our Facebook group for the entire month. And that's, you know, a private membership. You can check it out at ytmastermind.com. And then I also have a YouTube course called Zero to YouTube Hero. If you need just the guide map that's going to walk you through how to do YouTube from start to finish, it's all there, and you know, you can check it out. Link in the description of this video.
Nice. So, with that being said, I think it's time to clear the table.
Is it time to clear the table? Okay, so we're going to go on Clubhouse after this.
Yeah, we'll do a Clubhouse.
So find us on Clubhouse.
And if you're listening...
How do we do this? I don't know.
Thank you for listening. You've been fun. We've been great. See you next time.
Bye.